Thousands of Indian farmers have resumed their protest march towards Delhi. Now the farmers are demanding a legal guarantee on minimum support price on 23 crops, along with other policy changes. Now talks with the government so far have been in a deadlock. The Punjab-Haryana Shambhu border plunged into chaos as farmers started their march shortly after 11 a.m. local time. The police fired multiple tear gas shells at the site where over 14,000 people and over 1,200 trucks are currently present. The farmers brought in JCBs and other earth-moving machines to break through the barricades in their march towards Delhi. The farmers also came equipped with gas masks to tackle the smoke and tear gas shells being fired at them. But the central government has conveyed its strong objection to the Punjab government. The Union Home Ministry urged the state police to take strict action against those breaking the law. The state government has now banned the movement of the earth-moving machines towards the border. The government of Haryana is also on high alert. The Haryana police arrested several protesters early morning in Manesar. They were trying to march into Delhi through Gurugram. Now, Delhi's borders have been sealed for partially closed for the day. Tikri and Singhu borders with Haryana are totally sealed, while Ghazipur and some other crossings in Greater Noida in the National Capital Region are partially closed. The Delhi police have advised people to avoid these routes. The protesting farmers started their march earlier this month from India's northern state of Punjab. They were stopped at the Punjab-Haryana border by the Haryana police. Since then, multiple clashes have been reported as the farmers insisted on carrying out their protests. Now, in the fourth round of talks with farmer leaders, the government offered to procure 5 crops at MSP under a 5-year contract through its cooperatives. But the farmers rejected it, saying it was not in their best interests. Now, the government has invited the union leaders for a 5th round of talks, saying it wants to find a peaceful solution.
अच्छी तरह से हम स्वागत करेंगे, समर्थन करेंगे। आज का अध्यक्ष मंडल आदरणीय सभी खापों से आए हुए खाप पंचायती और संयुक्त मोर्चे के पदाधिकारी
चौथे दौर तक की बातचीत होने के बाद
We have noted the response of farmer unions in the 4th round of talks. We are ready to discuss all issues in the 5th round to find an amicable resolution. I request everyone to maintain peace and find a solution through dialogue.
लेते हुए पुनः
And for the latest on this, we are now joined by our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur, who is on the ground, and she's joining us from the Shambhu Punjab-Haryana border. Dharamjot, you've been getting us all the updates from the main site of the farmers' protest today, the Shambhu border. And the last when we spoke to you, tear gas was being shelled. What's the latest that you can get us from the ground?
Well, intermittently, the tear gas shelling continues here at the Shambhu border. In fact, just 15 to 20 minutes ago, there were about, 25 to 30 tear gas shells that were thrown using drones from the Haryana side of the border to the Punjab side where I'm standing currently. So yes, tear gas shelling over here continues. However, as you can see behind me, farmers and other people participating in the protest, their leaders, everyone remains here in large numbers at the moment. Of course, regular announcements are being made by the leaders saying that everyone needs to maintain their calm. There will be no sort of movement, unless the union leaders give some sort of explicit instructions. So at the moment, on this side of the border, the farmers are not taking any action. They're not making any movement. On the contrary, just regular instructions being given out to everybody on loudspeakers on how to deal with tear gas shelling. What are the do's and don'ts? To wear your eye masks, to keep your face away, to keep drinking water, and they're also using indigenous methods like kites to deter the drones from entering the area. So this is continuously going on over here on the Shambhu border since morning, and nothing has really changed since then. So the situation pretty much remains the same.
You talk about keeping calm, farmers being instructed to do that, and that brings me to the next question. Now, in what will be the fifth round of talks, the Union Agriculture Minister Arjun Munda has once again proposed to have a dialogue with the farmers and appeal to them to arrive at a solution peacefully. What's the sentiment among the farmers there? Have you been able to speak to some of the farmer leaders or the farmers at large? Are they willing to find some middle ground? And if so, what is the proposed middle ground that the farmers are perhaps considering?
Bhairavi, can you please repeat your question? There's tear gas shells going on in the background. I can't hear you very clearly.
Sure. Dharamjot, this is Isha on the other side of the line. Now, in what will be the fifth round of talks, the Union Agriculture Minister Arjun Munda once again proposed to have a dialogue with the farmers and appealed to them to arrive at a solution peacefully. Now, I ask you this because you did talk about how farmers are being expected and instructed to keep calm. But the Union Agriculture Minister is also saying that we should arrive at a solution peacefully. Now, what is the sentiment among the farmers that you're picking up there? Have you been able to speak to any farmer leaders? Are they willing to find some middle ground? And if so, what is the proposed middle ground that the farmers are perhaps considering?
Well, at this moment, of course, the farmer sentiment remains very high in terms of, wanting a solution to their problem. Of course, we know that the conversation around MSP is not an overnight one. As you can see, of course, there is a lot of action over here going on, but the farm leaders have asked people to maintain their calm. They're obviously present here in large numbers. They've been asked not to move forward until there is a clear instruction in terms of where the dialogue is headed. So, of course, we know that the government has proposed a fifth round of talks now. Farm union leaders are mulling over how to take the conversation forward at the moment. But, of course, there is a lot of commotion over here. However, farmers they're standing down. They're very explicitly told not to take any action whatsoever. So talks at the moment, they haven't started, of course. We are expecting that both sides will sit down for a conversation later in the evening. But at the moment, the union leaders are considering how best to put their proposal forward and ensure that, the center listens to their demands and what the next step will be in this direction. Of course, both sides want this matter resolved via conversation and don't want this, the matters to get worse here on the border. So, having said that, Bhairavi,
Okay, there seems to be some technical issue with Dharamjot's connection there. The stalemate continues. As you can see on your screens, visuals of a slight bit of commotion there at the Shambhu border. Dharamjot will be sure to get us all the latest from the ground there, and we will update you with the latest from whatever we are getting from the border area there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.